Hi, thanks for watching. This is a quick look at how Google views and ranks your website in the search results. By knowing how the program works, you can use it to your advantage to increase the traffic to your site by getting it on the first page, so that way you're the first click and the first call whenever anybody's searching. So I've got your site pulled up here, and the format and layout looks good. The only problem I'm seeing is that there really isn't a whole lot of content on the page. And that's a problem because when Google is looking to rank a website, it's going to do so based on two factors. And the first is the content. So it's going to come in and count all the text on the page. Basically looking for a minimum of about 1,500 words because it assumes the more information you have on the page, the more of an expert you are, and the more likely it is to recommend you. Now, while it's counting words, it's also looking for keywords, which would be anything that a customer would type into the search, which is usually going to be a service that you offer and then the area that you offer it in. Now, this is where the number of words on the page particularly comes into play because you're only allowed to have one of these keywords for every 100 to 150 words of text on the page. Now, the second way that Google ranks a website is based on its authority, which is basically a popularity contest. Now, there's two ways to build authority. The first is by getting what's called citations. Those are any time that your name, address, and phone number are listed in an online directory. Those directories include Yelp, Yellow Pages, Better Business Bureau. They're usually free. It just takes some time to find them all, register your business, and then input them exactly as it's shown in Google. The second way to build authority is through what's called backlinks, which is when another website links or refers back to yours. Basically acts as an endorsement that Google uses to build trust because others are vouching for you. You can kind of look at it similar to a customer review. If you had 1,000 five-star customer reviews, a new customer would think pretty highly of your business. Google is doing the same thing, except it's using other websites to make this judgment. Now, to see how this determines where your website ranks, if we go back to our search, the first thing that's going to pop up is what's called the map pack. This is actually a pretty important area to try to get into because anywhere from 40 to 60% of the people will just click one of these top three businesses. To be listed in here is free. You just need to fill out your Google business profile. It's inside the Maps app, so you can do it right from a smartphone. When you're doing this, you want to fill out as many of the fields as possible, including the services that you offer, the area that you offer it in, even the hours of operation. Then you want to continuously add photos that are geotagged within your service area, upload those as well as posts to your profile on a regular basis. Have customers leave reviews, and then get as many of those citations as possible. Your name, address, and phone number listings. You want to be listed in more directories than anybody else on this list. Then underneath that, this is what we call the organic search results. This is where the higher the authority or the more trust Google has in your website, the higher up on the list that you will rank. To demonstrate this, I put your website into this tool that I use, and it shows me all the information that Google finds when it crawls your site for both the content and the authority. Now, just to define these terms quickly, if the local news station did an article on the top 10 roofers in Massachusetts, and in that article, the reader could click on a link and it would bring them back to your website, that would be considered one referring site or one referring domain. Now, as you can see, we don't have any sites that are linking back to yours, but just to bring some context, what I've done is in each one of these searches, just taken the top results, just so I can show you what kind of authority that their site is bringing and the reason why they're showing up at the top of the Google search. Now, obviously, this number is going to vary based on the area, the competition, things like that. But one thing to keep in mind is it's not just a matter of the quantity of these links, it's also the quality. They need to be relevant to your profession. So for instance, if we had Pizza Hut linking back to your site, Google understands that you're a roofer, you're not making pizzas, so even though that would add a number, it wouldn't actually add any authority to your site. So this is where we want to find sites that are either blog or listings or postings, directories, newspaper articles, news sites or organizations, citations, all those that are within the home building, remodeling, roofing, construction field, so that way they're relevant to your business. Now, also, Google is not picking up any keywords. These are just links because they're just listed. They're not in what's called like an organic sentence or paragraph. They're not going to get picked up. And because you have so few words, you don't really qualify, unfortunately, for any keywords. But just to give you an example, we take one of the competitors just so I can kind of show you how it works. These are all the words and phrases that are being typed into Google search that are being found on this website. And then also the volume, the number of times per month that they're being searched. So this is where we would do some research to find all the highest volume keywords relative to your location and the services that you offer, and make sure that those are being included on your page. So for instance, roofing in Springfield, Mass is being searched 150 times. If you were on the first page of Google, 150 people would see your website. We really use a conservative estimate and we say only 10% of those will actually turn into leads and give you a call. I don't know what the conversion rate is for your business, but let's be even more conservative and say only a third of those leads actually become customers and get a roof done. Now you're talking 5 new customers every month just based off one keyword. So then we repeat that same process for all the highest volume keywords in your area and make sure that those are included on your page. Now, obviously, each job is a little bit of a different profit margin, but you can see how all those leads can add up to some revenue at the end of the month and at the end of the year. So I hope this information was helpful and it allows you to scale some of your online presence. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or if you'd like me to go into further details. Also, we could talk about your goals and I can do some research to find out what it would take for you to reach those. And I always appreciate getting feedback as well to find out if information like this is useful for you. So please let me know what you thought. Thanks, and I look forward to hearing from you.